Yeah, and so somebody submitted, and I will say I was very impressed with the person's approach on um, on solving those problems. All right, I'm trying to find out if the person is here. I think it's Said. Said, are you here? Oops. Oh, Said is not here. Probably. So I like the submission. So I would have that. Yeah, there were some few things I wanted to point out anyway, but then he's not here. So we just proceed. So today, basically, we started off. I started off introducing to to database code. All right. By that was on Tuesday. Last class we had. Okay. So today we'll be talking much more about using connecting to database using PHP. Okay, so this is what we're likely be doing. So for now, we'll just pause this guy. Yeah. Maybe I should just, what's this thing? Okay, we did cover this once, and creating database in PHP and we did do that, and markup for login, saving procedure from check and whatever. Okay, but then today we'll be handling this. Okay, and it will just be from maybe probably 1, 2, 3, and maybe just maybe. Okay, so I'll just space this out for now, and space this out as well. So so now if you look at my file tree now, everything looks clean now. So I'm trying to bundle a lot of things out from the way we used to do it. Let's just try and see if we can now organize things in some ways, all right? And in some ways, I should be able to have a well-organized app, okay? So in this case, I should have 3 main folder, perhaps possibly something like this, engine, right? So next I should be probably maybe DB, okay? Because sometimes DB is an external stuff, right? Needed by the, oh, what is this? Oh, I'll move to trash for now. Okay, so next we should have, like I said, is the DB, and next I should have is the views. I think this will stop now makes much more sense, but then I would have loved to extract this out. Okay. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, we can. I can.
Okay. So great. So now, in so many cases, all right. So you might be taxed in, building an application, okay, that is so large in some cases, and I'd like to also introduce this to some certain patterns. We talked about constant the other time, okay. Now this is much more easier in many cases, all right. So for example, I have this. Have DB, I think I should have something like config.php, okay? And config.php should help me with just every database configuration I need, all right? And maybe yeah, something like that, okay? And Yes, some people can, you can use this. Some people can call it some people call it view, then some people call it pages, all right. So, but whichever way you feel like, all right. You can do your thing, okay. So I should be able to have, possibly there are different ways to handle this. You've seen it. You can use the htaccess to reroute your pages according to the server's request. But then we'll get there. Once we get there, we'll easily manipulate through that. I think I'm just trying to see if I can preserve that here once we get into our OOP full time. So we'll be doing a lot of things where we can, create custom classes for what is it called? Custom classes for route and for everything. Feel like way things are much more organized. Okay, but then you can keep this just the way it is. All right. Then some people, in some cases, in these cases, I think we'll just roll with this index.php. Okay, so index.php maybe probably should just get two things. All right. Then we should have maybe home, something like this, or whichever way you need to. But then should we use capital letter? Okay, for now, let's just, we'll come to that later on. So, and okay, something just came into my head. If I use this, because where are we? We are in the index page, all right? So if any of these files are not found, we don't want the script to continue execution. But in this case, we use include. So, and the execution should just continue, but that's not what I really want. So in this case, of course, it includes, oh, somebody sent a message. Oh, sorry about that. Can you see it now? Okay, so yeah, I was thinking about something. So in this case, I wanted to include some few files in the index, all right? So, and I realized that if I do this, so in case where the file does not exist, so the execution will continue, and that is not really what I want in this case. All right, so what I will just do is, I will just use require. So and then I should require the require view. So okay, so all right, fine. Okay, so I should require views stroke index, I think. This is PHP. So this is a bit much more organized, all right. So in this case, sometimes you wouldn't have to do some weird things, okay? And so of course we come to this. So okay, this makes much more sense now. We just have h1 loadb. Okay. If I execute this now, so this is actually going to fail. So and all right, so I'm going to just put this up. This is not going to fail again, but then what version of it? Okay, so yeah, if I execute this thing now. Okay, so you can see This should stop, but if I should use include, in some cases, we'll just continue. We are not really going to stay down on that. You can go and try that on your own. So we have this guy now. All right. So yeah, and inside here I have my config. Of course, remember that I set speech title somewhere. All right. So if I do this, and if I do this, so yeah, I should get my Hello DB now. Now if you can see this, I didn't have anything here. So if I refresh, oops, so DB, oh, sorry. I'm used to the Laravel way of doing things. Okay. So I had tile instead of title. Okay. So, all right. So, choose my whatever here. So now, this is just a basic introduction to at least, separation of contents. A lot of people, they now the big thing is what you see as design patterns. Okay, where we have our major doings here. All right, things are separated. We have just the controller of whatever we want to do, being somewhere around here, you understand? Somewhere, where if I want to do where there is stuff, I have a separated place for where I do stuff like that and so on. Then if I want to do just views, focus stuff, I do it here. And of course, if I want to do my red HTML stuff, here, then entry points. This is an entry point, all right? Remember where we can use HTTP access to just be directing, should I say be returning each views that is here, right? Then in this case, once we get down to the OP basics, that's when I'll teach you, we'll talk about how we can write classes to handle just routings and so on, okay, where we can possibly use the HT access to control our inflow. So, but in this case, we'll be using named entry points, for example, index, and if we want to have another entry point, so you have something like maybe probably about, okay, but then it is, I think this is just going to be all right, or what the entry point should be having, just this thing, okay, except on some rare cases, all right. So just this, so you get this and then you do this and before then you get down to this place. I think that is all right. So, and then things becomes much more cleaner. So if I want to do HTML focused stuff, you can see now this thing is now much more cleaner than it should be, it is, all right. And while I have my, okay, and where is the old? Let's take an example. So you looked at where, I think here, where we're having some weird things here, and this doesn't really look nice. If you want to scale, you don't use this. So this is bad. This is really, really bad in many cases, right? So you don't mix, raw PHP and just a lot of bunch of PHP, or should I say a bunch of logic with a bunch of view. You don't really mix logic and view. You have to be able to understand that concerns have to always be separated at all times. All right. Oh, time is fast going. So before then, so now back to the topic of what we were trying to do today. Today is just going to be interacting with these things. There are several ways of how you can, interact with them. PHP and MySQL, okay? So, and there is a MySQL connector that is that comes with, it's an extension that comes with PHP already, or sometimes if it doesn't, so you can install it. So although that is in some ways not really advisable, but you can use it in very rare cases. And the error with that is that it allows a lot of attack and so on, and not just that. So it is specific. So if you're using MySQL connector, all right, you are just limited to MySQL, all right. But then there is a generally accepted connector, that is the PDO, PHP Data Objects, okay. And let me show you here what it looks like. PHP.net, yeah. So video. So you can see it here, video class, all right. And so I'll just so you can see this also. Let me look at this. Let me show you this. Okay, sorry about that. So I needed to. Okay. So yeah, this is how the MySQL class looks like. Okay, so it has your host name here. You have your username, you have your password, and most of the time you have your database. All right, although there is default already here. Okay, so you have some other stuff in here. So you have the commit, and you have the connect, which you call. And it takes what? All right, it takes this guy and so on and so forth. So you have some, you can go look into them, all right? So it has some, this should allow you to ping your database. So if you're actually meeting your database or not, or if you're actually reading your database or not, okay? So this should allow you to pull. And this, prepares your statements, all right? So, when you want to prepare your query, you pass in your query and then you're done. So let's look at PDO. So PDO accepts almost the same format, but then here you specify the database type. If it is MySQL, then the host, all right, and then you have the username, and you have the password, and you have the whatever, and and so on and so forth. Okay, so I was thinking of something. Something I was I'm thinking, but then I think I should just leave it like that. So I think I should then probably then. So then what you should do is just come down and probably look at how you can optimize that. Okay, so I think should I leave it at that? Yeah, I should just leave it at that. So probably once I'm done, so you can come down, look at it. Maybe should that be an assignment? No, shouldn't be an assignment. That would do small, or should I say that would do trivial to leave it for an assignment? Okay. So next, so we'll head on to connecting our database, all right, to connecting our PHP to the database. And first, to start with the MySQL, all right. So in most cases, How do I do this? How do I do this? What's the beta? Okay, so let's just start with the yes host equals. So this is where you specify your host. So in most cases, local host. All right. So remember, first we are starting with using MySQL connector. So MySQL connector will take your hosts and will take username and will take password. Okay. So in this case, so username. Should I? Oh, okay. So for most users, this is it, and for me, password. Okay, password is just this. So I should. So I will show you something. In this one, so this is in some way, I don't really always like using MySQL, and it's really not always used using MySQL connectors, all right? The PDO connector is preferred. This is sometimes in how it handles its error, okay? And yeah, and now it's handling its own error, okay? So, but then I think I can try this. Can I try this? If I try this, it will work. I don't think it will. Then okay. So I will have to just manually handle the error by myself. So this is connection. Oh shit. Oh, this is batch. So I just popped out and there is no. So guys, I will have to. So die. All right. So die and you just log the error, okay? And connections. Okay. So and just put this in. Hold on guys. So while I try to power up my device, so my device is, so this will take approximately 5 minutes, okay? So okay. So this will take approximately 5 minutes. So see you. Okay, sorry guys, I had to power on my generator. So since I was doing like this right now. So my system actually ran out of light. So I had to sort it out. So before I continue. So yeah, back to where we were. Okay, so let me see. Oh, thanks, Mandy. All right, so if it tests it out, so you see how the errors are being handled, and in many cases, I don't like. Should I say this is not a good way to handle error? All right, so it is always better that you throw and you try, you understand, and then throw. Okay, so you try and you throw, not just actually, checking. Allowing things to depend heavily on your checks. All right, what if it's an error that you did not or that you did not anticipate, okay? So it comes up to becoming an issue, all right? So if I draw this out now, so if this connects to my database successfully, you should see this thing here, okay? So again, I think I did include it in my home controller, all right? Yeah, so yeah, that works. So you can see connection is successful. So meaning it has been able to connect to my database successfully, all right? So yeah, I have PHP admin already installed on my system, okay? I have PHP admin already installed on my system. Now, this is why and I can still as well use my terminal. So then, now, this is better. This is better. Or should I say, this is always the best approach for you to do. So you create a database. Okay, so it is always good for you, or in some maybe extreme cases where you have to, create some kind of should I say helpers, all right? Help us to help you manage database in some, but in rare cases, but in if you want to use, like, you want to speed up application, or you want to, it is only advisable that you do in some cases, all right? So not like you cannot try it out. So you can try it out. It's only advisable that you do what you do, create a database, then you pass the database to your application, okay? But you can create an application that as well creates database and then manage this database as well. Not like you cannot do it, you can do it. Okay, I do already have CodeCamp here, all right? So, and what a lot of people mostly do, so they just create the database and then, uses the application to manipulate their database. Example Laravel, all right, where you have to migrate towards where you have to migrate tables and so on and so forth, views and so on and so forth. Where you can just do them from your normal thing. I think I didn't know we will be able to cover that, but then probably we may have to touch a little about that. Okay. So yeah. So for now, I want to connect to my CodeCamp. If I want to connect to this DB, or if I want to access this DB, remember that looking at this guy, what's this one? This is MySQL. So each time you initialize the class, all right. So we only passed in these parameters, and there is one optional parameter that is, in fact, not just, I think there are about 3 optional parameters, okay, that is still there. That is the database parameters, and the ports, and which is the socket already. This is a whole build-up class, all right. So this is just like it has, we already have these things default already, okay. So you can override them by putting your own stuff. Maybe you want to connect to an external database that's stored. Maybe probably one of those databases that Heroku's offer, all right, or any service online that you want to connect to from your local PHP, PHP, whatever. What's this thing called? Your PHP application. Okay. So now the third, or sorry, the fourth parameter is the database. Okay. So, and I want to connect to KodeCamp. So, okay. So now I should easily pass the fourth parameter here. Okay. So I head over to, let's see if it's all right. So to really verify if that works, so I don't have this user. So I just come down again and I try. You can see. So the access denied for whatever this is called. But then of course this is not connecting, okay? And yeah. Maybe I come back, I try to. So you should see an error of database not found. Okay, unknown database. Okay, you see this? Yeah, so with this, everything is okay. So the next thing we are going to be doing with this thing is to start, writing MySQL queries to interact with our database. Okay, and like I said, so in most cases, I really do not like to use. I really do not like to use MySQL. Right? So just for showing sake. But then I think I would like to change to using the PDO. Okay, that is the PHP Data Object. All right. So we are actually in we're actually in a new era where we do things not just like the old people. Okay, so I'll say try. So try catch. All right, and video already. So PD already has an exception class. Okay. Okay. All right. So I think I should do the same thing. I should just say, but in this case, what I'm going to be doing is you are not really doing. Oh, sorry. You're not really doing like I did. Try to check for this connection error variable. Okay. So I'll just say probably that. Yeah. Error code and so this. So it'll get message. Okay. So I'll try the new of the class in there, you understand? So I'll new of the class in there, and I'll do some, set stuff and then set attributes. And I think after that, we should all be fine. So in this case, I'll just, dive straight to my listing. So you remember, in what is it called, in PDO, so it is different, totally different. All right. So you have to write this thing like you're writing the normal. Okay, let me just, I think I should just show you. So video, we are connecting to this and that. No, let's just use MySQL. Okay. So and then the next thing should be the DB. So it should be the DB name, all right? So, and after that, we just so the next thing is to, this is some ways kind of in some ways optional, but then you always have to set it. So this is where you call another random class video attribute mode, and then you call the video error mode exception. Okay. So could not find driver. Probably is it that maybe I don't have oh, sorry. So you see now everything works very fine. So you see now that this is simple, all right? So but in this case, what if something just goes wrong? Maybe that's probably not related to this, okay? And that becomes an issue, all right? No, you can see now, node name or NOS what's it called? Server name. All right, this is server name. Okay, provided or not known. All right. So yeah, this is cool now. So next thing you should be doing is to just start writing a SQL statement. Okay, for your MySQL. Okay, well in this case, should we create table? Should we just get into creating table? And thinking if we should get down into creating table or just if we should move straight to what inserting data and of course I think we should start with creating table. Oops, start with creating table. Still thinking. Sorry, hold on. Trying to check something. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So this is okay. I'll just I think I should run this up in a function. No, I'm not run it up in a function. On to uh, let's call it. So not just con any longer. Okay, so I should remove this guy. And yeah, I'm thinking about that things. Okay. Anyway, so let's just do this. So once so go and figure out what is us. Side assignments. I'm thinking about that thing, but then no. So let's just get up over here, okay? So let's just say probably want to render all users. I think I did have all users table in my listen. So you do, for example, so you should be able to have possibly maybe something like this. So later on we'll talk about security and how you can use placeholders in passing data in passing SQL variables into them. Okay. Then you can pass in your whatever SQL. So then the next should be you selecting the type of fetch. Okay, so if you want to actually do the what's it called? If you actually want to do if you want to fetch with the associative this thing or whatever fetch that you want. So I think with MySQL, so you can directly do this, okay? So this should work directly, all right? So fetch associative, so hold on. Oh, not that be selected. Oh, did I save this? Then I can all put this in one function, but let me that this so it doesn't work then I use. We'll come to that later on. So we sure do have select. So actually, there's a problem somewhere. So we'll resolve that later on. So and I think so it's because we are using feature sock. So definitely that's why we are having just a single user. All right. So then I will actually have to get many. Hold on. Many users. Okay. So we have all users here, all right? And you check what we did. So we have to select all. So we are selecting with association, selecting them to turn them to an associative array, okay? So we have all these items right here, all right? So we have the first of item to be, we have all items to be 3 items, and we have each item to be 4 items inside. So we have admin, we have Mendy, and we have Maurice, okay? So, and you can go ahead to do just a lot of things with these guys, okay? For example, in some ways, in some ways, oh, I'm coming now, just hold on. So in some case, in eloquent, or should I say in eloquent design, so some people would likely put this, okay, put this in, let's say abstract this, okay, some sort of okay, let's say queries, okay, TB, and we can have queries. So PHP so queries of PHP. So in order not to be having some messy stuff here, okay. So I should have this. So I have queries. Should I pass this DB inside here? So the next thing I should do is abstract my DB down here, okay? So, and I don't want my DB here, okay? I just want to be able to use this guy. In fact, I'm pulling this out of here, and I'm pulling this out of here, okay? So the next I should include should just be the query. So yeah, I think this is all. So we should have just this two for now. And So coming down here, I should have include, what's it called again? DB stroke queries.php. So we should have still the same result. Oh, undefined variable. So I think we did talk about global and local variable some other time. Okay. But so this is where you now have to use. What is this now? Sorry. Ah. In next class, so we'll talk about how to unify this thing. So I don't like this idea. So we have our users, okay? Where we want to have possibly MND is where MND is, okay? So remember, our users, our find takes up a parameter, and we want to find by email, okay? Or probably by say yeah, maybe or something. But then let's just do that. Fine, okay? So we have an SQL syntax error, okay? And yeah, boom. We have this, okay? And yeah, this is Bendy here, okay? And he doesn't have any phone number, okay? So I did told you, I had told you to go and research on how to insert and should you what's it? Oh, time is almost up. I'll just leave this room for questions. So we should have done insert. Insert. Should we? I'm trying to see. Should we? But so far, is there any question? Andy, have you got any question? What's up? What about you? Hello, can you hear me?
Well, no questions so far. I'll have to review.
Okay. Everything's pretty much understandable. I think I should have to possibly get to terminate the class now, probably. So I should do a review, and I think I should tackle insert in the next class. So we should tackle insert and possibly deletion. Okay. Then I'll leave what's it called? I'll leave update for you. So you will have to do the updates. Said, what's up?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah, I saw your submission. Your submission was very nice. So I wanted to point out some few things, but yeah. So yeah, this. So before we just end up the class.
Okay. Okay, sir.
I think we have this is okay. So hope you all can see my screen. Okay. All right. Said, you see this? Hello. So simply, I didn't want to use that approach in the sense that in as much as you want to use loops in just very a lot of things, so you have to avoid loops in as much as you can. What if you have thousands of users? All right, so this will now becomes and this should now become an issue. Then hence I think I did. Where's the old? So this is much more faster ways to handling this. So you filter which belongs to this, pass it into this, and then we are off that loop cooks. Okay. So that was just I think is that the only thing I saw that I needed to point out. I think that is it. Yes, some way that's it. Okay. Any other question? Anybody has any question?
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to find out if you have gone through my own work.
Oh, I haven't. Hold on. Wendy, you are still using the same approach now?
The same thing he did.
Look at this.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, okay. So any questions so far? I'll check that up very properly later on.
As regards what you did, right? What you're doing in summary is Shebi is MVC that you're trying to emulate.
Yes.
Okay, so this the controller and the views.
Okay.
I realized that inside view there's index.php and also in the root directory there's also index.php.
Okay. Now, I think if you were here from the beginning of the class, there were some places where I said in possibly when you start doing OOP that you will start writing a custom URL directive where we have only just one index. So for now, you can have different root entry. Okay. For now, we only have one. It's just like saying we have route index. Okay. We don't have any htaccess here. You understand? To rewrite this thing, request. You understand?
Yeah.
So, but then once we start doing OOP, then I will take my time out to talk on that, and we now emulate the normal. It will now be the normal MVC when you have not only one index.
Okay.
Any other question?
No, from me, no. I would just like to see what I would just like to take a screenshot of the home controller side and the view, the index and the view side. That's all. I think fine.
The controller is just nothing big, so you see this already. So I can pass this thing now to this thing. So just once I have this up already, so I should be able to boot up my application. I should just be able to spin this up any I want to spin it. All right. Come down to my views. Maybe I just say, okay, well. Or can use this one. I can as well use this. Which should work very fine. So you get this now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very much more simple. So I wouldn't have to, start doing that weird thing I'm doing here, okay? So I just do them here and I'm up and running. Do you understand?
Yeah, perfectly.
Say it.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I saw your confused.
Yes, no. In the last class, I'm not in the last class, but I cannot find the link to the on YouTube. I cannot find the link on the YouTube, so that's why I want to ask.
Oh, okay. Hold on. So I think I'm after the class, so probably I'll get to Ella so to make the link available.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. So thank you. And thank you. So we'll see you again some other time next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.